4 p.m. Altitude 3,000 meters.
Freezing twilight, the massive
Inside the
columns converge,
cramped
racing.
cockpit of a Heinkel HE-11 medium bomber, the air is thin and frigid. The squadron leader from the German 4th Air Fleet looks down through the bomb site. Below, the city of Stalingrad stretches like a festering wound along the winding banks of the Volga River. The targets are clearly marked on the operation map: the Red October tractor plant complex and the densely packed wooden residential areas to the north. On the control panel, the signal light shifts from yellow to blazing red, a silent but brutal order. The bomb release lever is pulled decisively. Beneath the aircraft's belly, the bays yawn open like the jaws of a shark. Hundreds of SC-250 bombs and incendiaries drop from the racks, diving vertically and tearing through the air. The wind whistling past the tail fins creates a distinctive sound, an ear-piercing shriek like the trumpet of death. Ground level, Nevsky Avenue intersection. Civilians are moving in a hurry. A woman looks up, but the shriek grows louder, drowning out the street noise. Too late to run. Boom! The first bomb hits the ground. The blast force hurls a ZIS-5 truck 10 meters away like a plastic toy. Window glass in buildings within a 500-meter radius shatters simultaneously, shooting out like a rain of razor-sharp daggers. Boom! 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 A chain reaction of explosions runs along the main avenue. A 5-story apartment building shakes violently, then collapses. Concrete crumbles, and rebar twists like strands of noodles. Red brick dust billows up, blanketing the entire neighborhood in a deadly fog. 10 people die instantly, crushed under tons of rubble, while 20 others are buried alive. View from the Volga riverbank. Oil Depot Number 2. A Ju-87 Stuka dives at a 90-degree angle. The Jericho trumpet siren mounted on the wing howls wildly, the Luftwaffe's terrifying psychological weapon. The 500-kilogram bomb detaches from the belly, plunging straight into fuel tank number 4. Kaboom! A giant pillar of fire erupts into the sky, and temperatures at the epicenter skyrocket to 1,000 degrees Celsius. Burning oil spills onto the surface of the Volga like lava. The river water boils, steaming and sizzling. 3 sailors on a cargo barge jump into the river to escape, but they burn to death the moment they touch the water. The city is plunged into darkness in the middle of the day. 70,000 casualties in just the first week. At the 6th Army headquarters, German officers look at the map and smile. They mark a bright red X on the square named Stalingrad and order the 16th Panzer Division to start their engines. They believe victory is already in the palm of their hand, but they don't see the reality beneath that layer of smoke and dust. The German nightmare is only just beginning. Western outskirts, 16th Panzer Division. 120 Panzer III and Panzer IV tanks line up in a long row. Maybach engines roar, shaking the ground, while the smell of diesel and exhaust is overpowering. The order to attack is broadcast over the radio. Sweep everything. Advance to the Volga. The convoy rolls out at 40 kilometers per hour. Gun sight of Panzer IV number 424. The tank commander looks through the periscope. In front of him isn't flat asphalt. In front is a mountain of rubble 3 meters high. Ruins of bombed-out buildings lie across the path. This is the gift the German Air Force has accidentally bestowed upon its own army. Speed up! Get over it! The commander screams into the radio. The driver floors it, and metal tracks spin fast. The 25-ton tank lunges onto the pile of bricks. Screech! Concrete crumbles and slides under the tracks. The vehicle tilts 45 degrees to the left. The engine howls, then dies. The belly slams hard onto a protruding chunk of reinforced concrete. Tracks spin freely. The Panzer is beached like a whale on the shore. View: basement of the opposite building. Soviet anti-tank gunner Ivan squints. Target is 150 meters away. The 2-meter-long PTRD-41 anti-tank rifle is propped on a broken windowsill. The black barrel points straight at the flank of the German tank, where the armor is thinnest. Ivan takes a deep breath, holding his chest still. Bang! The 14.5mm armor-piercing bullet flies at a velocity of 1,000 meters per second. It pins straight into the gap between the turret and the hull. Inside the Panzer, the bullet pierces the steel like a hot knife through butter. Molten metal fragments spray inside the cockpit like fireworks. Fuel catches fire. The driver slumps over the steering wheel, blood gushing, while the gunner screams as fire catches his grease-soaked clothes. The commander kicks open the turret hatch, trying to crawl out to escape. Rat-tat-tat! A burst of PPSH-41 submachine gun fire from the rubble on the left sweeps across. The German commander falls backward, his body sliding down the side of the blazing tank. Panorama of the avenue. 5 other tanks also fall into a similar situation. Der Straße ist zu nah und Rubble blockt den Weg. German 75mm Kanonen bekommen useless. They can't lower their barrels to shoot into basements, nor raise them high enough to shoot at the rooftops. Die Armored-Formation ist split up. German infantry are forced to jump off the tanks. They lose their steel shield and have to run on foot amidst sniper fire from 4 directions. 3 Germans are hit and fall right on the road. 5 others hurriedly hide behind the burning tank carcass. Tanks useless. Infantry panicked. The Germans realize they have fallen into a trap created by themselves, and the rules of the game have just been changed. Soviet 62nd Army Headquarters. General Chuikov slams his hand on the map table. His eyes are bloodshot from lack of sleep. No stepping back. Engagement distance is 50 meters. Hug the enemy's belt to fight. The order is passed. Close quarters combat. Hand to hand. Tractor Factory District. Workshop number 3. Soviet soldiers occupy the first floor. Soviet soldiers occupy the basement and sewer pipes. The boundary between life and death is just a thin concrete ceiling. A group of 4 Germans holding MP-40 submachine guns creeps into a dark corridor. Hans, check that, the squad leader signals. Suddenly, the manhole cover flips open. 2 Soviet scouts jump up like ghosts from hell. In their hands are not guns, but engineer shovels, sharpened like razors and daggers. No gunshots. The first German takes a shovel blow straight to the steel helmet and collapses. The second tries to raise his gun, but a dagger plunges into his throat. Blood spurts in a jet onto the white wall. The remaining 2 fire wildly in panic. Bullets tear up the wall plaster. The Soviet soldiers roll down the stairs, disappearing into the darkness as if they never existed. The situation is extremely chaotic. Who will survive tonight? If you want to update the minute-by-minute developments of the Eastern Front, hit like on this post and press subscribe to the channel immediately so you don't miss the next part. Don't miss the climax right after this. Railway Station number 1. Legendary sniper Vasili Zaitsev lies motionless under a rusty sheet of corrugated metal for 6 hours. The smell of gunpowder mixes with the stench of rotting corpses. The 4x scope sweeps the square area. A German officer steps out, holding a map. Breath held. Heart rate slows. Index finger slowly squeezes the trigger. Bang! The bullet from the Mosin Nagant flies. The German officer flips backward, hat flying away, dead before his back hits the ground. Alarms sound. A German MG-42 machine gun from the opposite building sweeps bullets like rain towards the pile of metal. Dirt and rocks spray. The metal sheet is punched full of holes like a honeycomb. But Zaitsev rolled to another position long ago. Der deutsche Officer Death Toll rises by the hour. 100 dead in der Morgen. 200 dead in den Nachmittag. German units sind torn apart. Kommunikation cut. Germany throws in more troops. The Soviets throw in more ammo. The whole city turns into a giant meat grinder. But the intensity has not yet touched the peak. Stalingrad airspace. German command decides to go all in. The Luftwaffe launches 2,000 sorties in one day. Wipe out the narrow 200-meter strip along the Volga where Soviet troops are holding on. Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber formation lines up in the sky. Ground. Defensive position of Soviet Company 3. The roaring sound shakes chests. Soviet soldiers press their bodies flat to the trench bottom. Dirt and rocks fall onto helmets. A 500-kilogram bomb falls 20 meters from the command bunker. Boom! The shockwave blows the roof off. 5 soldiers are pinned against the wall by the pressure. One soldier hugging a light machine gun is thrown out, falling into the freezing Volga River. Thick dust. Visibility drops to 0. Stuka cockpit. The German pilot tries to identify the next target, but he is confused. On the ground, the front lines are intertwined like the teeth of a comb. German and Russian soldiers are only a wall, a room apart. Building A. Germans hold floor 1, Russians hold floor 2. Dropping bombs on Russians now means killing their own troops. Der Pilot greinzhistit. Kann nicht release die Bombe. Pulst die Stick, fliegen auf high. Germany's absolute Air-Superiorität ist komplett neutralisiert durch die sowjetische Hugging-Taktik. Auf dem Ground. German Infantry realisieren Planes can support. Ein Flamethrower-Soldier approaches a hole in dem ersten Stockwall. Ein Stream von breit orange Feuer sprays inside. Screaming sounds ringen out fiercely. 3 Soviets run out, whole bodies burning like living torches. They don't lie down. They rush straight at the German soldiers, hugging the enemy tight. Both fall down, burning together, dying together. The madness reaches its peak. No boundary between life and death. But while Germany concentrates all forces on the center, they forgot to look behind their backs. 100 kilometers north of Stalingrad. The Don River steppes. The ground is covered in white snow. Temperature minus 20 degrees Celsius. Romun soldats, Germanias alats, are huddled in trenches. They lack warm clothes, lack anti-tank ammo, and most importantly, lack the will to fight. Suddenly, the ground shakes slightly, then stronger. The tin coffee cup on the table rattles violently, then topples over. The horizon. Hundreds of black dots appear. Not infantry, tanks. Soviet T-34 tanks. Hundreds of them. They rush over the snow at 40 kilometers per hour. Wide tracks help them glide over mud easily. Behind the tanks are thousands of Soviet soldiers in white camouflage suits chanting the charge. Ura! 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 Romanian trenches break. Panic explodes. Romanian soldiers fire rifles at tanks in vain. Bullets bounce off with a ping. The T-34s plow through the trenches. Tracks crush barbed wire fences, crush machine guns. Romanian 37mm artillery batteries fire back weakly, then are blown away by T-34's 76mm guns. Boom! An artillery piece is hit and explodes. The barrel flies into the sky, spinning fast. The northern flank defense line shatters in just 2 hours. Thousands of Romanian soldiers drop guns and flee. On the southern flank, a similar scenario plays out. 2 giant Soviet pincers rush at each other at dizzying speed. Target: the Kalach Bridge behind the German army. The trapdoor is closing. 300,000 German troops inside the city still don't know that their way home is about to be cut off forever. Kalach town, bridge over the Don. Soviet tank spearheads from the north and south meet. They shake hands, hug each other, and cheer. The encirclement is closed. The Cauldron, the Kessel, has formed. Inside the Stalingrad encirclement, German soldiers hören ein strange sound. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Distinctive whistling, nicht like normal artillery. It's the Katyusha BM-13 rocket battery, Stalin's organ. From high points around the city, hundreds of rockets launch at the same time. The sky lights up with long trails of fire. The rounds fall on the German truck assembly area. Boom, boom, boom. Wide area damage. Dozens of trucks burn fiercely. Ammo depot explodes. Pillars of green and red fire shoot into the sky like deadly fireworks. Shrapnel flies hundreds of meters. German soldiers hide in bunkers, covering their ears tight. We are surrounded! I repeat, completely surrounded! Request reinforcements! Urgent! The other end of the line has only the static of interference. Berlin is silent. No way out. The hunter has now officially become the prey. January 1943. Temperature -30 degrees Celsius. The battlefield is silent of big guns. But death does not decrease. It shifts to another form. The cold and the hunger. Panzer tank carcasses lie still under thick snow. Engines frozen dead. Motor oil solidified like glue. View: German underground bunker. A German soldier sits huddled in the dark corner, eyes sunken deep, soulless. Face skin ashen. He wraps around himself torn curtains taken from fallen buildings. In his hand is a piece of raw horse meat, hard as rock. He tries to bite, teeth loose. Beside him, his comrade lies motionless. He died last night from hypothermia. No one has strength to carry the body out. Guns and ammo thrown carelessly. Mauser rifle bolt jammed because of frost. Outside, German Ju-52 transport planes try to drop supply parachutes. But Soviet anti-aircraft fire is too thick. A U-52 gets hit, wing snaps off, nosedives into the ground. Crash! A cloud of black smoke rises amidst the white snow. Supplies fall into Soviet hands. German soldiers watch in despair. Every 7 seconds, a German soldier dies in Russia. Stalingrad is your mass grave. Surrender or die. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Der countdown sound echoes hauntingly. German morale collapses completely. Death comes slowly, coldly, and more ruthlessly than any bullet. Und die hour of destiny hat Strock. German command bunker. Univernacht department store. The bunker door flies open. cold wind rushes in. A Soviet officer enters, pistol in hand, but pointing at no one. Field Marshal Paulus, commander of the 6th Army, just promoted to Field Marshal by Hitler yesterday, slowly stands up. He does not pull a gun to commit suicide as Hitler requested. He raises 2 hands, eyes soulless, looking into the void. Outside on the street, a scene shaking the world. 91,000 German soldiers stream out to surrender. The mightiest army in the world now looks like a procession of walking corpses. They drag heavy feet on the snow, clothes in tatters, bandaged all over. They walk past the rubble, things that their own bombs created. London, Washington, Moscow. Global press headlines. The myth of Nazi invincibility has been buried at the Volga River. Data runs on the black screen fought in the Cauldron. 147,000 killed in action. 91,000 taken prisoner. Only 5,000 survived to return to Germany after the war. Stalingrad returns to deadly silence. Blackened factory chimneys reach up to the gray sky like giant tombstones. Wind whistles through shattered window frames, creating mournful sounds like the weeping of unquiet souls. They came here to conquer with iron and fire. They turned the city into rubble to easily occupy. But in the end, that very rubble kept them here forever. At Stalingrad, tactics became a trap, and geography became the executioner. What do you think about this historic turning point? If Germany hadn't attacked Stalingrad, would the outcome of World War II have changed? Leave your analytical comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue accompanying us in upcoming war files.